My name is Kevin Burke, and I am Chief of Police for the City of Healdsburg. Well, I started in law enforcement when I was 14 years old. I was an Explorer Scout in Santa Helena, which is a small town pretty close to here. And I kind of got hooked early on. Police work is a very exciting job. It's a very important job, and I think as people, one of the things we get the most satisfaction out of is doing things that are important. And I got hooked early on being able to get involved and see what it was about, so I decided to become a reserve police officer. At some point I decided to become a full-time police officer, and then after a number of years working the field as a patrol officer, I did decide I wanted to get into management. But the allure of police work is in a number of different ways. First of all, it's very exciting. As police officers, we get to see and do things that most people will never see and do in their whole lives. It's just an amazing opportunity to gain real-life experience that helps people. And I think when you talk to most police officers, they will acknowledge that one of the big rewards of this job is that you do get to help people, you do get to solve problems, and every day you come in is something different. That's probably one of the most exciting parts of this job. You come in and you never know what you're going to find. Now, getting into management was kind of a difficult choice for me because I really like wearing a uniform. I like being out in the field, and I like driving a police car, and I like interacting with the public. At the end of the day, the big difference between being a police officer and being a police chief is that as a police officer, you're the first one there. If somebody picks up the phone, calls 911, the police officer is going to be there to help them out. As a police chief, my job is to get the police officer the tools and equipment that they need and all of the resources they need to be able to be there and be there quickly. And that is just as rewarding as being there and doing it itself. So they're both very rewarding. And as I get older, I think I'm getting to the point where I'm a little bit more comfortable being behind a desk a little bit more often and not out there racing around. We all get to that point in our careers. So, but I would say that being a police chief has to be one of the most amazing jobs I've ever had. In law enforcement, there's only one way to become a police chief, and that's to start as a police officer. Now, the requirements for being a police chief have kind of changed, even in the time that I've been doing it and been seeking it. It used to be that if you had a bachelor's degree and had promoted and become at the very least a sergeant, preferably a lieutenant, that you could get into upper management, executive level management, we would call it, as a police chief. But nowadays, what you're seeing more and more is a master's degree is really required to make you competitive to become a police chief. Me personally, I have a bachelor's degree. I also have and that's in economics. I also have a master's degree in public safety management, and I also have a law degree. So I have a very high level of education, and that has always been an asset for me, and that's what I always teach police officers. Whether or not they ever want to get into management or not, it's really important to get out there and get that bachelor's degree, because just like more police chiefs now are being required to have master's degrees, you're finding that most departments now are requiring police lieutenants to have a bachelor's degree. And you're finding that more entry-level police officers, in order to be competitive as police officers, have some college experience. It's almost unusual now to see a police applicant who doesn't at least have 1, 2, even 2 years AA degree in criminal justice, something along those lines, or even a bachelor's degree. So the qualifications and the education and the experience are continuing to change, but it's definitely becoming more competitive. For me personally, I consider my job to be challenging, but not so much that I find it overly so. I mean, I enjoy the challenges of the job, but I enjoy the job so much that I don't find it hard. I love coming into work every day. I enjoy the challenges of trying to work through our budgets and dealing with all of the difficulties in trying to come up with the resources to run a police department effectively. I enjoy those challenges. I don't watch a lot of the cop dramas on TV. I get enough of it at work. I think I'm one of those people where on those times when I'm not at work, I try and stay away from it. But I do like the show 24. But I don't think that was as much of a cop drama as it was more of a terrorist suspense type thriller. But there have been a few good police shows over the years, but I tend not to watch them that much. Although Law and Order, it might be one that I watch occasionally.